Welcome back, guys, into the semi-final round here of Miami's Treasure Cup. It's me, your boy, Yeehaw Yadam, being joined by Giancarlo Paradiso. Are you ready to commentate this
Dude, I'm ready. I'm excited.
Finals, man?
So we have Luffy versus Law, right? He's going to be explosive. I think one of the most important cards in this matchup is going to be an early Nico Robin on both sides of the table, and it depends on who can answer it, right? A lot of the times you can establish some removal against Law, and you prevent them from filling the board. And then this is also like the big Luffy variant is kind of what I call it. You have like Ben Beckman and Shanks, so it's like you can attack that 8-drop kid really well. You know, like that Ben Beckman's really attacking that 8-drop
Has
Eustace
a
kid.
great stat line. It's not just
Exactly.
that, but Luffy in general versus Law, as opposed to Zoro. Law's going to go ahead and come at the board for Luffy,
Yeah.
where Luffy can have unblockable characters, Yellow
Yeah.
Jumbles, the medium
Yep.
Luffy, Shanks, and use those cards to go face, where Zoro really kind of struggles with doing that. So I'm
Yep.
excited to see how this matchup goes. The other
Absolutely.
two matches are just Eustace Captain Kidd, so it's
Yep.
50% is Eustace,
Yeah.
one Law, and one Luffy.
Yeah.
So let's get right into
Absolutely.
the gameplay. I'm going to go give these guys a thumbs up so that they can go ahead and start.
Good, go for it.
All right, so the thumbs up has been given, and we have
Alrighty.
Caban S on Law and Albert Mason on the mono red Luffy.
Letter Luffy. I really like how Luffy players have adapted to the meta. Playing something like a Ben Beckman is just such a cool addition to the deck.
It just fits the right curve, right? It's a 7, so it doesn't get outed by Brachio Bomber. It doesn't get outed by the 9-drop Kaido. It doesn't get Otama Jet Pistol in the mirror. It just fits correctly. The number stat line is also just fantastic. But in
Yep.
some matchups, he's just combo power. So we'll go ahead and see the Law starting off, and as he starts off with the Nami. One of the best starts that the Law player can do. And I looked away, so I didn't really see what he grabbed there. But we'll go back into the Luffy side. Luffy going on second, which is not terrible. Just gives up a bit more time, but it looks like his hand is a bit thicker.
Yep, and here we go. So we're just going to attack. The thing about Big Luffy is that you don't want to give it as much time. Back when like we were just playing like rush aggro decks, you really wanted to starve the resources out because if you give them a life, it's probably just a rusher here, right? But if you give Luffy the chance to go bomb, 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 you just
You're going to be in a tough spot.
you're going to run
Oh
out
my
of those
goodness.
resources, right?
So we see double pistol, a Beppo, and a Nico, a Shanks.
Zoro too.
Quite an army of a hand. So we'll go ahead and attach one Dawn immediately. We'll go in for 6. I think that's
Six,
a
yep.
little bizarre.
Well,
I think
like
5 and 6 are the same here, in my opinion. Am I crazy?
I think he just wants to maximize his Dawn usage. So if he plays Zoro, he can use leader effect to
Oh, what he thought
attack
about
with
that
it.
trigger.
So he's playing killer. He's going Robin here. Very
So
nice.
Killer is fantastic because even if it doesn't do anything in this board
Yep.
state, it lets you get to 5 characters on the board.
Yeah, it was a 0 Dawn body that he played for
That's
free.
all that
Oh,
happens,
here
and we're going to
go.
see
Yep.
the Otama into the Robin,
There
and this is
this
looking
is-
really sketchy already. We're going to see 5 at lead
That's
and
the perfect
delete
start,
the
yeah.
Nico Robin. This is literally, I don't know what you can ask for more from the Law player's side.
Yeah, no, this is about the perfect start.
Yeah, your opponent
And
literally gave you a character.
I would say we actually probably want to see a jet pistol off the life there. That would be like a fine mechanism to kind of come back.
Come back into this board state.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
So, we can actually use our leader's effect. If we play a 1-drop, we can go ahead and just swap.
Can you imagine playing a 1-drop and then playing the character Law this turn? That would be so much value.
That'd be insane. We're going to go ahead and drop a 2K to get out of that attack there.
Okay, and we're perfectly fine getting a 2K for
Yeah.
just a leader swing. We're going to go ahead and tap one here. It looks like a 1-drop is going to come down from Kaban's side.
Okay, so it looks like he has...
He's just
I don't want to
thinking.
say it too loud. But
Of course, it's going to be the
gonna play
Gordon from the
Gordon.
film.
There we go. Activate.
Interesting.
Bring
Going to go ahead
back
and activate. We're going to go
Play
summon back the
Luffy.
Luffy. Very, very interesting. So this Gordon
And
with
he's
this
playing-
Nico Robin aboard
Yeah.
is very threatening. So it's
It-
almost as if
Yep.
you have to give this Nico some amount of respect.
Absolutely. We're gonna have to see some attacks into it. With no blockers, it'll be a little easy to attack. So basically, if you don't know, Gordon is from the film pack. You're gonna see it a lot next set. It's a
Certainly.
1-cost character. You bottom deck it to give something -3. So that means Nico Robin could kill anything up to 6K. And of course we have like an Otama in rotation. So like theoretically, if you spend enough Dawn, you could kill something with 8K or 7K with Nico Robin, and that's kind of crazy.
That's kind of a lot,
Yeah,
So
it's a
this
good
Robin
bit.
needs to be respected. There are very minimal cards in Kaban's hand. I think there's
Yeah.
4 cards. We're aware of one of them, which is the Killer. And then we
Yeah.
know that that's a 1K. We have to respect the 2K on the Nico.
There we go.
We're going to
So,
see a
yep,
Beppo gets
Beppo.
coming. We're going to use Monkey D. Luffy's effect, Suction. And we'll go 6 at 4. And 6 at 4 could potentially survive on
Yeah.
the Nico Robin if he so chooses.
The thing, so you play the Beppo first, so you can get maximum usage out of your Dawn. He also has a Zoro in hand, so if this attack fails, he can play the Zoro and attack. So I do like this line of play. When your opponent has 4 cards in hand, it's very difficult to protect this Robin from 2 attacks.
100%.
So even though the Beppo is extremely vulnerable to the Robin on the board, the fact is like you commit to killing the Robin and it becomes extremely difficult. I would actually, if I were Luffy, I would be very happy to see this Robin protected here.
The thing is, if we do fully commit to this Robin,
There
then
you
we
go.
don't lose our Luffy. And then we're
Exactly.
kind
And
of
now we
okay
just
with
play our
that.
own Robin. Okay,
We have Beppo Robin, which is a very good answer to this board. Funnily enough, I'm not a huge fan of this Beppo. His
yeah,
attack line is very, very small,
yeah.
but into Law
His effect is
specifically,
super strong.
very, very good.
These two cards together can pretty much clear the entire board next turn. So we're gonna have to see Kaban use something to maybe mitigate that, or find some way to interact with his board.
So we'll start off by playing a Bonnie, right? So this Bonnie's going to go ahead. We're going to tap two. We're now at 5 cards on the board. We're looking for a Trafalgar Law possibly off the top, and we do
Yep,
find
and
it.
we
So we're
find
going to
it.
be able to shuffle a couple cards around here. Maybe this Otama. You can out
I
or
think
the Gordon.
I
Who
would
knows?
I would say, because he has such a small hand size, right? And this is just my guess. I would think you're gonna return the Nami with the leader's effect, and then return the Bonnie, and that protects your cycling card. So both Nami and Bonnie
Interesting.
cycle. So because of that, you're able to refill your hand on a later turn. That way, if your board is compromised, you're not completely out of the game.
I respect that. Personally,
Mm.
I like the bounce of Otama, bounce the Nami, play the Nami. But either
Mhm.
way, our board is going to be almost demolished on the next turn. So
Yeah.
maybe removing both of our searchers from the board might be the way to go about it. You
Yeah.
know, make sure that we keep it in hand so that when these Beppo and the Nico Robin
hmm
destroy our board, we don't feel as bad.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I like that. I
Go
like that
ahead,
thought
putting it
process.
down on the Luffy, signaling an attack here.
I mean, 7 is a really good number. It's not just to
Yeah.
play around pistol. It's just a good number.
Yep, there we go. We're gonna use our leader's effect, and he is deciding.
So we're going to use the leader effect here. And I do think you're right about removing those cards from the board. And then you know what? Honestly, I would even use the Law's effect to not summon. As crazy as that might sound.
Yeah.
As crazy as that might sound.
Oh, what's he gonna? Oh no. Okay, I agree. Summon the Robin. Sure. Again, you see, what did I say? Robin, just an incredible card. You're just trading boards, trading cards. Now, I actually wonder if he's gonna attack. I wonder if he's gonna equip a Don to the law. Yeah, there
I
we
like
go.
that
So
equipped Dawn.
you do not want to get punished by Jet Pistol. Jet
Correct.
Pistoling would have just taken out a lot of resources there. So you're equipping a Don, even though it cannot attack. Jet Pistol on trigger and on activate main only kills a 6k or less. So by equipping this Don, it is now a 7k.
Yeah, you're now playing around the pistol, but pistol I
Exactly.
think would still come down and clear the Robin
Absolutely.
possibly.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think you're very okay with that. Keeping your Luffy and your Law is just more important than Robin. We're going
Yeah.
to see a 6F face, we'll see a 7F face,
There you go.
and we're dropping
Yeah,
really,
generally,
really low as the
if
Luffy
you
player.
if you don't defend the 6, you're probably taking the 7. So this is exactly what Law wants to do. It has now established its resource engine with the cards that swap back to hand, the Nami and the Bonnie. It has a lot of good bodies on the board, and even though this like the attackers on Albert's board are going to do a little bit of cleanup, it is still going to be relatively
I
difficult.
don't think it's going to be enough cleanup,
I
if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. I.
So we're going to have to invest quite a bit of Dawn
Yeah.
to make these characters usable.
Yeah.
Because this Law is going to tax.
Yeah.
This Law blocker is going to go ahead and say, if you swing at me for 5, it's just going to block
There
the
we
card.
go.
So
Yep.
we'll fetch a Jet Pistol. So
Of
he
course.
identified that the tax needed to be removed. And then now he only has a 5 theoretical Dawn to work with.
Yeah.
And staring one
I
life
feel
into
like
the
you
Law.
want to go after the Luffy. You want to go maybe double. So your opponent has 5 cards in hand, and we know that 2 of them they do not
Are
want to
one
counter
case.
with.
It's going to be Nami. Well, we know actually 3 cards. We know Killer, Nami,
There we-
and Bonnie.
Absolutely correct. So, but you can counter with the killer, sure, but you do not want to counter with Nami or Bonnie because they cycle, right?
Correct.
And so if you do go after the Luffy here, you know that you can shred a lot of resources from their hand. They might not be willing to protect the Luffy by discarding those 1Ks.
The issue is I don't see a way to remove this Nico Robin from the board.
Mm-mm.
And then that's just going to be enough to apply a lot of pressure on the
pressure.
following turn, which is
Absolutely.
unfortunate.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Nico Robin plus Gordon combo going to go crazy. It's going to clean up the entire Luffy board. I think this one,
Yeah.
honestly, I don't want to count anyone out, but it's looking like a Law victory.
Oh, there's a lot of game left to play. A lot of game left to play.
Maybe I'm premature on it, but it's
all
starting to look scary.
Sure.
So he's gonna go for the 6 on the Robin, which I do like. I really do like this. And it has to be removal of the Gordon.
Mhm.
Gordon needs to leave here.
Yeah, Gordon just provides a lot of negging 3 is huge, like I said.
Right, because I think he's leaving 3 up to like maybe threaten a potential Zoro play.
Yeah, he's considering,
There's a lot to consider here, but this Luffy kind of needs to go. But what's the most efficient way to remove it off the board while also developing your
Mhm.
board and putting you in a winning position?
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of tough.
And you're also just facing down a Robin. It's just like
Yeah, because like this Robin will turn sideways, right? You put her to 6, she
mhm.
swings at the Luffy. Then the Nico Robin on the
He
opponent's side will
has
clear your Robin plus your
yeah,
Beppo.
he has another pistol. He is probably considering, do I just pistol the Luffy and then swing, remove the Gordon, and just go fives into face, which is like that's a fine option.
That's
You're
fine, but then
trading
you're gonna
board.
eat a
Uh,
5 from Robin next turn,
yeah,
which is gonna remove your board entirely,
yeah.
and then you're gonna eat a ton of damage from the leader. I would equip just
Hmm.
a bit, and then he'll just have another turn to set up with Nami
Okay,
and Bonnie.
so we're going for Otama to reduce. Oh, there
Ooh, I
we
like it.
go.
So the
Love
Otama
it.
is gonna be the way to figure it. I hadn't been looking at the red player's hand, but thank
Yeah.
goodness he had the Otama. So swinging here at the face, removing the.
Oh, that's a
That's
scary. Wait a minute.
It's because Beppo is really, really small. He can't really get into the Luffy's range, which is the problem.
Is that a valid target for Beppo? Is he
Yep.
1 cost or less, or 1K or less?
No, it's 2K or less.
2K power or less?
2K
Okay,
power.
I got
It
you.
has a similar
To the
thing
Nico
to
Robin,
Nico
yeah.
Robin, yes.
And there we go. Okay, cool. Good way to clear the entire board. I like it.
But we still got a Monkey D. Luffy
I
on the
know,
board,
yeah.
man.
We're so
With 1 life remaining and no Dawn active.
putting himself in a position where you force your opponent to win, and he just has no counter power in his hand. That's so scary to go for
But it's a
the
very
push here.
big bluff, which I think his opponent can.
Yeah.
I mean, he might even test. There's a lot of sideways characters, right?
There's
So
a
there's a
lot,
lot
yeah.
to
There's a lot
interact
to
with, but
do
maybe
for
if you
sure.
interact with it, that is kind of a bait. That's what the Luffy player
Yeah,
wants.
absolutely. There's a lot of options to consider here. A lot of board interaction.
All right, so let's see. He's trying to decide if he takes this 5 or not and goes down to 0. Going down to 0 versus red is terrifying because of all the
Hmm.
unblockable characters that they have available to them. So we're going to see a Nekomamushi go ahead and get pitched here for its
Yep.
1K counter ability. And we'll see Law start their turn all the way up
Hmm.
at 9 Dawn.
Yeah. Oh man, he has a Zoro too. This just feels like the go-in turn. I mean, you just have so much on the board. You already have a lot of power established, and you have an additional rusher too, which is just
No, certainly. So this is going to be a turn where
yeah.
we can get a lot of cycle and then also potentially go phase.
There you go.
So we'll see a Nico
Another
Robin be
Robin.
added. What an absolutely powerful card in these very aggressive decks.
Hmm.
It's going to
Bonnie,
go ahead and Bonnie.
and if he gets another law here, you know.
I mean, that's kind of what the Luffy player wants,
Mhm.
sort of. Let him spend his Dawn in a way that doesn't look too
Yeah.
optimal.
Well, if he gets the law, he can like double cycle the Zoro, and then he would have
He has
like
a Zoro in hand as well.
he has Zoro in hand.
Oh,
Yeah. So
okay,
it's
then
like
well.
if he gets a law here, he could like double cycle it basically.
Well, good sir.
Yeah.
We're in not a fantastic spot, so we're going to go Bonnie one more
There
time.
you
It looks like
go.
we're looking for that supernova. Do we get it?
Bonnie grab Bonnie grab Bonnie. There you go.
Oh boy.
Cards in hand, a lot.
How many cards you get? A lot.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and see. There's a couple valid targets here.
Yeah.
So we'll see the
The Beja, I like it.
Capone.
The insurance plan.
I like the insurance plan.
That way, in case things don't go my way, I got some blocks. I got an insurance
All
plan.
right. So now there's 4 available Dawn on the Law player side, and he started his turn with
Hmm.
lethal on board, but
Hmm.
he was unaware.
That's fine. I mean, you
But
can
that's
also,
the cool
but
thing.
you can go for chip damage, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Go
You're
for a little chip
absolutely
damage.
right. I would be okay with seeing a 5 and a
Yeah.
7,
He
and then
can
playing a Mage.
Yeah, I mean, he can clear the board. He can do. There's plenty of options. But again, we'll see what those options entail.
Most certainly, most certainly.
Mhm. I guess so. Here's the thing: you also like Albert is bluffing, right?
Super hard.
There we go. Yeah, Albert bluffed his way into scaring his opponent. So smart, honestly. All right, we're just gonna, and then Cabana's like, wow, what if he has all 2Ks in his hand? Why would he tap out if he just loses to me attacking? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
No, completely understood, but
Yeah.
definitely interesting.
yeah.
I think it's still very,
Mhm.
very big mountain to climb from the red Luffy.
Yeah.
It's not going to be an easy one for sure, but we'll
Mhm.
see how Kaban handles this final
And
end
he's
of the
gonna
turn. He's going to
play
go
a
ahead and
Robin.
activate Law's effect to shamble up the Bonnie to make a Robin.
Oh, and did not play Beige. I wonder if he has 2 Radical Beam in hand, perhaps?
He has Radical Beams.
He has 2?
Yes,
Okay, smart. No, that's smart. I like it because that represents a ton of counter power. Like,
too much.
too much for sure.
Too much counter power. So it's gonna be a little tough.
Starting the turn with no characters established is going to just make it very hard to push for the game. Again, we can do a little bit of cleanup,
Well,
try to survive, but we need to establish some characters, you
there
know?
is a lot of damage that's coming from the Luffy player's side. A lot of hidden
Yeah,
damage. There's no blockers on the board.
yeah. He has Red Hawk, which I mean, that can protect from a couple attacks. He has a Luffy Rusher. He has what looks like a Zoro. So I wonder if you, let's see, you could Jet Pistol the Luffy, play the Zoro, attack, equip some Dawn attack, and then leave two up for Red Hawk. That's like kind of the cleanest. That's like kind of a clean way to push, but at the same time, it's like then you're again, are you setting yourself up for losing?
Correct. So
And
we'll
we're
see
going
7
7.
at face. So we're not gonna go ahead and use the Shanks this
Yeah.
turn or the Beckman. Probably not the 5-drop.
Yeah, I think you want
It
to
has
keep.
to be the Zoras. We're gonna see
There we
a
go, just
radical
Radical
beam
Beam.
get
Yep.
used right now.
Because he's at 2 or less life, it actually counters for 4 instead of 2. I really love Radical Beam. I think it's such a good card.
Pretty solid card.
1 Dawn plus 4 is like it's very good defense.
Blast Breath says hi.
Exactly, yeah.
So we'll go ahead and see a Zoro being placed.
Mhm.
We'll maybe use the Luffy's ability. There's no reason not to use
Yeah,
Luffy's
of course.
ability here.
The question is just how much Dawn are we actually going
Correct.
for?
I think we just put.
He has 5 left, so in order to keep Red Hawk online, he can't.
I don't like the 6.
Yeah,
I mean, if we're gonna do pushes for beams, then we have to at least do 7. So
No
he goes ahead and
punish,
removes 2, and then he's gonna he left enough for a potential swing with the 5-drop, but
yeah.
that's not gonna finish the game in any means. So what's the point? What are we doing from here?
Mhm.
We're gonna hold a bunch of Dawn.
Mhm.
Oh,
Okay, sure.
I'm cool with this. I'm actually okay with this.
Yeah, I like this. Get in there, Otama. Do some more.
I like that.
Such a good card. I
Didn't
mean,
know what
like,
else to do with my turn, so
yeah.
that seemed like a good little wrapping point.
You just have do you basically Cabana's like, do I trade the Bonnie in hand for the one on the field, or do I just let the one on the field go away?
I think you let the one on the field go away. You want to have 4 cards going into your turn,
Sure.
so you can go to 5.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, and he taps out for, again, like bluffing. I have 2Ks in my hand, buddy. Go ahead and go for game.
Holy moly.
It's such a scary spot to just be like, oh well, I'm just gonna tap out every turn because I can counter with every card in my hand, right?
Albert playing this very methodically.
I would love to see Otama attack Otama. I would love to see it.
Dude, this guy's poker face is crazy.
Mm-hmm. Look, I looked over that he's smiling, bro. Dude, that's so cool. I like to watch the way players play. I like to see how they like
Their mannerisms.
their body language when they play is so interesting to me because it's like you can get a lot of information out of that. And then some people like Albert right now, he looks cool, calm, collected.
That guy is not even sweating.
That guy's a killer,
He
bro.
has a sweater on and he's not sweating.
No, bro.
Man's not hot.
No, no. This is very interesting to watch here. There we go. I like it. Otama swinging to Otama. I like it. I like it when
There's no reason not to.
I like it when the little chumps attack each other. It's very funny.
You know, you don't really get to see that too often, but I like it.
Yeah, it's cute when it happens.
Otama kill Momo.
Yep. Kid fight. Oh man, there's so many options. There's so many avenues. What do we want to go for? Like I said, Albert has just been doing a great job of bluffing, like tapping out every turn and just kind of doing like tit for tat stuff. He's just like, yeah, go ahead, attack me. I got 2Ks. Whether he does or doesn't, he's like scaring his opponent, you know. And here, conversely, like Caben has options as well. He's got an 8-drop. He's got a Zoro. I think like he can seal the game in one way or another. He just has to like pick. You know what I mean? I think both options are smart. He just has to pick which option is the most correct. We're going 5 into Zoro and we're protecting.
Yeah, no, Ben Beckman ain't doing anything in hand.
Sure.
I'm okay with it.
Mm-mm. No, not at all. It's just crazy to think if you just spend 10 Dawn on Nami, like, or, excuse me, 5 Dawn on Nami, 5 Dawn on Robin, game's over. Outside of exactly Red Hawk in the life, you know?
Yeah, that card is
Yeah.
terrifying in life.
Yeah,
It does a lot of work.
yeah. So let's see. No, I don't know.
But there's no reason to play that way.
there's
I
no
mean, he
reason
has
to.
the
No.
A-drop, he has Veggie, he
Yeah.
has Bonnie. He can do whatever he wants,
Yeah,
honestly.
exactly. It would not be the worst 8-drop turn, I'll be honest.
Yeah, this A-drop turn can go
He's just thinking,
pretty good.
what do we do? Do I want to equip one to Robin and go after Zoro? Do I want to play Bonnie? Do I want to slam 8-drop with my blocker?
So we'll go
Okay.
1 for a Bonnie.
Again,
We'll look for that law.
anytime you get a Trafalgar Law, your hand gets infinitely better. And looks like we didn't. We got 8-drop and Zoro.
There's also a chance to get a Capone, I believe.
Oh, okay. Still has Radical Beam. Okay. So it looks like we're not playing the 8-drop. We're going to go for a little bit of more smaller stuff, which is fun. It's good. It's good.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
And we
Just
also
more
have a
cycle.
Chopper. Okay. Oh, actually, it looks like all 5 are choices, right? No. This is not Chopper.
Yeah.
My bad. My bad.
If only.
But Jet Pistol was also a choice there. Yeah.
Certainly. So he went for the Capone. I
Double
I
beige.
didn't dislike the pistol either. If this is the type of turn that he's trying to get to.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess attaching Dawn into the Nico Robin
There we
kind of
go.
gets the same outcome. So
7
we'll go
into
7
leader.
at 5. 7 at 5 is pretty
Oh,
solid.
7 is Zoro. Nice.
Yep.
My bad. I thought he pointed to the leader.
Nope. And we'll
Play
go ahead and play
beige.
a Capone.
Activate our leader's effect. I would say bounce Otama because it's a 2K counter.
Yeah, if you're really that
Mm.
scared, probably bounce the Otama for another beige.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Smart. Now we have a 2K. We have Radical Beam. We have Double Beige. Okay.
Then
I think it's
God.
just looking like a Shanks turn, perhaps. Or
The thing is,
he has a 5-drop
the thing
Luffy
is,
too, right?
it's so cheesy
Yeah.
because like if he's able to like get a really weird swing in with this leader and then he shanks for like everything,
Yeah.
it's a very cheeky way to win this game.
Mm-hmm.
But there's just no way that happens, right?
Mhm. No, I mean,
There's just no way.
Caban, I think, is posturing for winning the next turn. So if you just Shanks swing, it's like, well, now I have to go in because you have a Shanks. You also have the 5-drop, and it's like, man, if your opponent was at 0, you could probably just try to go in with the 5-drop, but,
Certainly,
you know, not quite.
certainly.
Not quite. Beppo also at 2K, so it's like we're getting a little counter power to our hand now, just a little bit. We're going to be able to get out of a few attacks next turn.
Yeah, there is something to be said about maybe potentially going like unblockable Luffy here.
I wonder if you just go, oh, double Shanks. Yeah,
Yeah.
those are so hard. When you draw them back to back like that, and you don't have a good turn to establish the first one, they can clog up so bad in your hand.
True. But I don't think we hate seeing an unblockable Luffy here swing for keep 2 Dawn up, swing for potentially like 10, and then try to win off of the Shanks on the following turn. So he's gonna go for 7. That is gonna bait a block. Yeah, we can't lose to an unblockable card.
No.
So I like this.
Yeah. Yep. Play
And
the
yeah, we'll
Luffy.
see the Luffy come down. We'll use Luffy leader's effect,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll attach another one. We'll go 8.
Yeah.
I don't like 8.
Do you go 8? Which he has to leave up 2 for the Red Hawk, right? So
No, certainly he has to keep it
do you
the
go
Dawn.
8 into Robin? Because that probably guarantees the Robin dead, and that leaves one less attacker that you have to deal with.
I think you need to take the life here, though.
I think you need to, but,
Can you afford to?
yeah.
Can you afford to? That's the question. So we'll see an 8 at 4, which is a much cleaner. Even on even is always
Yeah.
really, really good.
Yeah, if you go, like, to be fair, too, if you go 8 face here, like, that, just one Radical Beam gets out. So, like, this feels like a better attack.
No, certainly. That's why I didn't enjoy the Dawn placement on the leader.
Right.
When if we were going in for a 9 and then us, maybe a 6 with the leader, then we'd be in a better spot.
Interesting. Okay. Again, we're just kind of seeing what's happening here.
Oh, and that's the card that's going to break the game.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. That probably
was-
does it. He needs to find another 1-drop here, ideally. Finds a Luffy instead. Okay, I mean, it's not bad either.
That's good enough. Because then certainly we can, he has the Zoro in hand, right? So he can decide, well, this turn I can be aggressive. He knows that he's leaving 2 up, so he has to play around a
One Piece players, we
4K
have 30
combo.
minutes till Team Wars at 12 p.m. If you'd like to sign up for Team Wars, or if
So
you're
we'll go
looking
ahead
for
and
a
tap
team,
one here.
please go out to the
to play
event
the
booth,
Otama.
and they'll be able to find you a
Okay,
team,
I don't
or
dislike
you'll
this.
be
We'll
able to
have a
register your team
4K
for the event
Luffy.
in 30 minutes.
A little bit of an insurance policy here.
No, certainly. So we can also just see like another defensive turn from Caban.
But it's the fact that you can like cycle it. You can summon. You can play the Zoro, right?
Which there it is.
Give it some Dawn. Attack with it. Swap into Law. Replay Zoro. You have a lot of attacks here.
Yes.
Now you can go with the insurance policy of going into the Luffy.
He's gonna go ahead and swap.
So he's choosing to do some other things.
Right,
here.
so he's gonna go ahead and swap the Otama for the Law. The Law's gonna go ahead and play. Well, the Law's probably going to pick up the Bonnie, but what is it going to
Mm,
place down?
mm.
Picks up the Nami and places the
Replays it?
Nami.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe looking for another radical beam if he plays it.
So now this Nami is going to be. This is a whiff, no? Those are all
E-
green cards.
Yeah, that would be a whiff. Unfortunate.
I mean,
Not what you want to see.
certainly not, but
Yeah.
I would have liked to see a 6 on a 4 here for this Luffy attack, and then Shambled the Zoro for another 6, and then Leader for 6. Make sure this Luffy's down, and then we still have 2 blockers that just can't get answered,
Yeah.
right?
For sure, yeah.
So here we'll see this 6, and this will certainly fetch out a Red Hawk, right?
I mean, yeah, that's your option, right?
Or you can, because you can't 2K
yeah, you
this,
can't.
right?
I think you red hog the blocker.
Yep.
And a 6 and a 4, and
How crazy is it that if he
Yeah.
had one more K,
that he
if he
might
had
be able to win.
one more K, he would win.
He might win. It's not guaranteed.
No, I know, but
Yeah.
that's kind of wild.
I like Kaban is just playing the defense. He's like, I don't need to attack you. Go.
No, Kavan's playing this very slow,
Yeah.
very methodical. He's
Okay.
understood the position he's in. He's trying to play around
Mhm.
2Ks, which is very respectable. Jonathan did this in the previous game, and it
Yeah.
definitely panned out. Playing around potential low variance situations
Mm-hmm.
secures wins more often than not.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's just kind of scary giving the Luffy extra turns, no?
It is. Yeah. 6 into Zoro.
So
We're
6,
gonna go ahead and get
that's
out.
going to get that 2K. And then we'll Shanks.
He shanks it up.
And now that we're tapped out, we'll use Luffy's ability to go put this on the Shanks. It is an 11K at leader.
Leader.
Yeah, this is the classic.
Gotta have it.
Well,
I like forcing him to block with the law here, right? You don't want to take this damage again because of another 5 cost Luffy perhaps,
I
but
feel like you just take this
you
damage.
just take it. You take it and go for
You just
game.
take this damage and then just.
That's fine.
There are 2 cards in. 3 cards?
3 in hand.
3 cards in hand, and
You probably have enough attackers to win in all honesty.
yeah. You just have to play around a pistol in life, so
Yeah.
attach your Dawn accordingly, and then you should be
Yep,
fine.
there we go. Okay. Take it and go for game. I like it. That would have been good a few turns ago.
The funny mannerism.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he still has the Luffy in hand as well. Oh, and Brook is a
Brooks a
crazy
crazy card
top
here.
deck, man.
Yeah, that's a great
Allows you to go to
card here.
5 for free.
5 for free and just equip 2 Dawn. Yes, love it.
And that is the exact threshold that you
Yeah.
want the Zoro to be at because 7
Yep.
is a good number. It's a round pistol. Yep, there we go.
Mhm.
And he's playing around the pistol once again. Very solid by Kaban.
Okay.
He'll go 7 in life. And
7 at life.
what are you going to do here?
I think you probably couldn't take this one, and then
If he
if
if
he
he combos
takes
out of this,
it,
he has nothing.
I know.
But it is what it is.
Yeah. All right, he's taking it.
And that's the thing.
Alright,
That's the
okay.
issue. So you go 7 with this law and then everything
Yeah,
on the
you
law
just-
leader. Yeah.
Sure. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah,
And it's sure
everything
just for
with
1 more K.
something.
Yeah. I respect it.
Hey. This is 3-2 game. Yeah.
He drew it over the course of 3 turns.
Yeah. It's
So
fine.
Kaban screamed out, "You did have 3
He
2Ks."
did
And it's
say
like,
that.
well, eventually.
I'm not psychic guy. All right. I'm
Yeah,
not
no.
psychic.
He just had the observation hockey, man.
He had yeah. All right, guess a great game.
That was
Again,
very solid.
Great showcase. Both decks were really doing what they wanted to do. We saw like a lot of weenie battle, a lot of like bro, the early game was so centralized around the Robins. It was crazy. I mean,
Nico Robin kind of established the mid game,
mhm,
and then when we got to the late game, the law did what the law does, and it
Yeah.
just cycled its character cards, its Nami,
Yeah.
its Bonnie over and over again to get its advantage.
yes,
Where the Luffy player tried to go ahead and finish the game off by attacking
Yeah.
life. Unfortunately, we just couldn't get there.
exactly.
Too many blockers.
Yeah.
But definitely the Luffy had a little bit of a clunky start. He had a lot
Yeah.
of pistols in hand, a lot of shanks. So
Mhm.
I'd like to see a more balanced hand from
Yeah,
him, you
I
know?
would, yeah.
A better bell curve.
Yeah.
So if you are the Luffy player,
Yeah,
would you
know-
go first or you go second?
I'm always going second here. So the benefit of going second is huge for both players. You get to draw, right? You get an additional card. You also get an additional Don each turn. Giving the law deck that additional Don every turn is just basically means that they'll be able to establish their board faster, right?
Interesting.
So even if your deck might curve a little bit on going first, I think you just want to go second. Getting the additional card is huge. Getting the additional Don is also good.
Interesting. So in my head, I would think that establishing the Nico Robin 1st
Mhm.
is very important, right? So you would
Mhm.
want to be the one on the play, so you'll go 1-3, so you can play the Nico Robin
Mhm.
ahead of the opponent.
Mhm.
But looking at Albert's hand, the fact that he plays Beepo
Yeah.
is really interesting because Beepo, I believe, is a 2-cost. Right? So being a 2-cost will allow you to play like a pseudo Nico
Pseudo
Robin
yeah.
for 2.
No, it costs 3.
Oh, it costs 3?
Yeah.
I lied.
I had to pull it up.
You want to be on the play then. You want to be on the play and mulligan aggressively for Robin? Is
I
that
guess, I guess that's an option. We'll see what
Right.
they both chose.
I mean, he has a much better starting hand. He has the Nami, right? So if he's on the play, he'll go
Yeah.
Nami, and then hopefully the Nami
Hope
gets on
for
the
a
Robin, right?
Robin,
That's what he's
yeah.
hoping for, which I don't blame. That's the curve that you want to see, the 1-3-5.
Okay, and you're right. Yeah, so he chose to go first because of Beppo. He has Beppo too, so
He does have it if he doesn't have the Robin, right?
exactly. So you were right. Oh, and there's
And there it is. But then, since you have the Beppo, you could potentially grab the pistol here.
he chose
the Hawk.
No, yep.
But he
just
chose the Robin,
chose
which
the
is
Robin.
understandable.
Sure.
Beppo is also just a 2K counter, which you
Yeah.
don't want to just play onto the board.
Yeah,
And again, the wall player opening fantastic with the Nami play.
yeah. And
if
you know, Beppo is a little bit weaker to something like a Nekomamushi because it's just ever so. It only has 2K base power as opposed to Robin,
Which
so
is
like
4.
it's just like it's infinitely easier to kill. Like even the one drop Nami could attack into it.
That's so interesting. I guess they calculated that 1K power is equivalent to 2K power is equivalent to 1K counter.
Sure. Who knows?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what they're
There you
because
go.
Robin being a 4-1, this is
exactly,
a 2-2.
Yeah.
So very interesting.
There we go. We got a ton of one drops. Ton of one drop in Caban's hand. Just a
I'd love
bunch.
to see it. I think that,
Yeah.
I'm not sure how many 1-drops a deck exactly plays, but it's
Mhm.
like 20 something.
Looks like they're all in his hand.
So I like that opener from Caban. Nami and Chopper,
Mm-hmm.
fantastic opener.
No, I
Red
agree.
base to flop into the green. Really, really good. So we'll go ahead and
There
see
we go.
Monkey D. Luffy going for the
5,
aggression, swinging for 5.
Mhm.
You take this as law all day, and
Yep.
you know the Nico Robin's coming down because it was telegraphed by the Nami.
Yep. You very often just see the law swing for the. I mean, you very often just see the law take the first damage because it's very detrimental for them to out counter that or block with it. It very much hurts their overall strategy.
Correct. The deck has a very limited counter supply, and
Yeah.
if you're pitching cards from hand, then you don't have it to
Mhm.
fill out your board, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So then we'll see 5 right back, and aggressive decks just tend to
Mhm.
gravitate to adding cards
Oh,
to
and
hand.
see,
and we'll see
she
the
is. We call it kill on sight, right?
yeah, she's on
she's
site.
so important that it might just be worth to go ahead and just pistol early.
I don't dislike the pistol, but that's
Yeah.
the best answer, right? Because on the
Mhm.
1-3-5, you're the aggressor, you're the Nami, the Robin,
Yeah.
and the Luffy. Where on the 2-4-6, you have the Nami Chopper, which is fantastic, and then the pistol on 4.
Yeah.
So very, very solid. So let's
Mhm.
see what the Luffy player does from here. Kind of derailed his plans a little bit.
There we go.
So we'll go ahead and play another Nami. Nami's going to fetch a Chopper, which is a nice use of the 2 bonus Dawn that you get this turn, because you can then play Chopper and then Beepo down, but
Mhm.
will you choose to do that is the question.
Yep. Just going 6 here.
6
Again,
at 5.
going down to 2, taking the early hits, hoping to stabilize later. And we're playing our Beppo and playing our Chopper. Solid. Okay. Again, Beppo
Yep, there it is.
acting as a pseudo Robin.
It is pretending to be Robin right now.
And you know what? It's gonna do a good enough job in all honesty.
I'd like to see a little Robin wig on that Beepo instead. That'd be very funny art.
It's such a good card, so it's extremely versatile. It does lack good character tags. It's not searchable.
Yeah.
You can't. You really just you gotta draw it, But at the same time, it's a 2K that also has an exceptional effect in this matchup. So, I mean,
It's just its stat line is so weak.
Yeah.
Like that 2K
It's
attack power is just
detrimental,
so
yeah.
small.
but it's just very positive.
Requires such a
Yeah.
large investment, but then again, its effect is very, very powerful in this matchup, so I completely understand playing it. So we'll go ahead and play a Nami after we swung at leader for 5.
Mhm.
Red player taking it for sure, and then we'll see what this Nami fetches this time.
He's got the
Another
options of
pistol.
Robin or pistol. Do you treat Beppo like you treat the Robin? It looks like no.
Okay, so a little bit of disrespect to the Beppo.
Disrespecting the bear.
Understood, because now if Albert has any sort of attack reduction or something like
Yeah.
that, then we'll go ahead and be able to see the people being able to answer the Robins. We'll see
Mhm.
another Chopper. My goodness, it is a lot of 1-drops.
Yep, Tony. Here's the Bonnie.
And
We
the
can activate
Bonnie.
the effect.
Oh,
And what are we
Lord.
looking for? Same thing we're always looking for. 5-drop law.
Yeah, the best card in our deck.
And we got a Beige. Okay.
And we'll grab Capone. Capone's okay for now.
Does
We
he-
still have 2 Dawn available that we
Yeah.
can then shambles up this.
Mhm.
Oh, we'll chose here. It looks like we have the Law, so
Looks
Law
like
will
we
then
already
add the
have it.
Nami. Then Law will bounce the Bonnie
Play
to
the
play the
Robin.
Robin. And that's a
Perfect.
perfect use of your turn.
Excellent turn indeed.
And that is 3 blockers, a Searcher in hand, a Robin on the board.
Yep. And
Looking kinda crazy.
We're in this position here where we see here where Ben Beckman, it's like, can I just slam this Beckman here? You have so many big cards in hand now. Like you have Beckman, Shank,
You
have
kind of got to start
Luffy,
dropping some bombs.
and it's like, man, am I gonna just am I gonna keep Robin fighting here? You know, it's not that it's wrong to do so. It's just like it can just be difficult to do so. You know.
Correct. So I do think that playing one of these big cards from hand doesn't seem too bad, and we'll go ahead and see the Otama
Otama.
Beepo combo. Yep.
Now, yep,
You didn't show me respect. Where you at now?
yep. Go ahead and equip 3
And we now have to
Dawn.
equip 3 down. That's the thing. Beepo is very
It's
taxing.
very taxing, yeah.
Such a tax to your play. So we'll go ahead and see potential swing for 5, KO the Robin, and then we have 4 down to work with. Ooh.
Excuse me.
So he's going to go ahead and respect the law. So he goes and attach as an additional Dawn, taxed by the law, and then go and KO the Robin, and then choosing to block with the law,
Yep.
and then pitch a 1K for combo. Sure.
Yep. And you know, you can just protect the law with the chopper, so it's fine.
Yeah, there's.
Yep.
I don't think this law is in too much danger.
No.
Unless, no, I'm just kidding.
Unless
So he's going to go ahead and pitch one of the bonus bonies.
bonus Bobby.
The thing is, Albert doesn't know it's a bonus.
I know, yeah.
So we'll go 6 at face.
Okay.
And,
And we're just pivoting. It's just sure, why would I attack the law? You just, you know.
yeah, you're just going to block it with Chopper, but
Sure.
he's going to block it with Chopper. Anyways, keeping 2 up for a potential Red Hawk.
Yeah.
So we've dealt with the choppers, essentially.
Yeah.
And what are we
Yeah.
going to do from here?
Red Hawk would just be so incredible here.
Such a good card, man.
It would be
very-
very strong.
Very vastly undervalued that card when it came out.
Absolutely.
And I always hear the terminology, but my opponent can play around it. It's like, it's not about playing around it. It's a 4K, and the life trigger is insane, and it deals with blockers.
I'm just a very big fan of the 2 cost plus 4s. It's the closest thing we really have to a hard negate. That's basically, it's the closest thing we have to that.
Certainly. And we will see that Red Hawk.
There you go.
And
it's
that Red
like,
Hawk,
how do you play around that, right? You gonna equip 4 Dawn to chopper?
certainly not.
Of course not.
You definitely can't do that one. So then we are protecting this Beppo.
There we go. We want to force
Heavily.
We want to force the law attack. We want to force it.
Yeah, that is not a bad concept, right? If we do keep the Beppo alive, then we can go ahead and have it trade for very important cards like this Nami or this Bonnie. But the Bonnie finding this law is going to be a world of a difference in this turn, right? Because I assume we're going to have a bunch of 1-drops come down, shambles for law, and there we're at. So we'll see the Radical Beam added to hand. We're at the 2 life threshold, so we're already at the 4K for 1. We're at Blast Breath. Oh boy.
Okay.
And here comes Capone, and here comes the shambles. To hand,
Oh, beautiful.
play, to hand, play.
Play. Do we just replay the knob?
No, we have
'cause-
Zoro.
Oh, because we're going.
We have Zoro, so Zoro's going to go ahead and now contest this Beppo. And although we invested a lot to protect it,
Yeah.
was it worth it?
Sure.
Certainly.
Goodbye, Beppo.
He has done enough.
Yeah. And here we are because like now that you've lost the weenie fight, it's like look at your opponent's board. Like how do we keep up with his board? So yep, one of the laws was played this last turn, so he can't.
So the one that is going to be used as a defender, he attached a Dawn under it
Yeah.
to make sure that it lives, and then attacked for 6. That's really
Very
cool.
smart.
I like that.
Because if you kill the one that's rested, it's like okay, well it did attack already.
And there's still a Capone on the side of the board.
Yeah.
No, this is very, very clean gameplay by Capone. I like it.
Yep. So yeah, it's just like now that you've lost the weenie fight, it's like what do you do now?
What do we do now?
we slam Beckman and be like, all right, now I have a
That
big
board is very threatening. Can we afford to slam Beckman on this board?
I know it is. I know, but
To start off, I would kind of test the waters, maybe,
Yeah.
and go 5 at the Zoro.
'cause
See
he's
what he
got-
does with
well,
this.
He's got like Luffy's, or I mean, he's got
And there's a Radical Beam up. Oh my goodness. This is tough.
yeah.
Because as strong as Law is kind of stationary. It is stuck to the board, right? You're not going to very easily shambles the Law to replay the Law. You're going to go ahead and probably play the Zoro more often, right? You're going to use the Zoro to shambles for another Law and then swing multiple times.
Oh man, the round table. Okay,
Interesting.
let's go in Otama. So if you don't
So
know,
he's
the way
playing
this
round
the
table.
way this actually works in this game is you go negative. So this law is actually -4.
Correct.
It's not. It doesn't go down to 0. So,
And this Nami,
yeah,
you can't afford to defend
it's
this.
basically infinite attack.
Yeah, you can't afford to defend that.
Basically, round table they're acting as a jet pistol, basically.
True. Yeah, four Dawn, Jet Pistol.
Sure.
Tap a character, though, but
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yep.
And what do we do with the rest of our turn? So I was hoping for, like,
Mm-hmm.
potential Shanks establishment here or something. But I guess we'll see what he wants to do with the
I
rest
just
of this
think
turn.
you gotta you have to play something that does something, you know. Even if it's opening you up for like a vulnerability. Like this is what happened last game where he just got clogged with like all these big cards and he just couldn't play them all in one turn. So
But the law deck is just so fast. He
I
literally
know,
played
yeah.
5 1 drops. How
hmm
can I speed that? You
Yeah,
know?
no, that's true, but it's you know, it's mm,
Or I guess how can I outspeed
yeah, exactly,
that?
yeah. I think you're gonna send some attacks into the Zoro, I would think, but
So attaching 2 Dawn here doesn't respect the 2K on the law block. Attaching 1 is just enough because you can't
going
afford to play
sure,
anything higher.
going 6 face, okay.
But then maybe we just Capone here. We just
Mm,
2K this.
yep,
Yeah, we'll
just
just
get rid of
2K it.
Otama. I like it. Both players are being very methodical. We're playing the Zoro. Yep, use our
And then
leader's
use our
attack.
leader's ability. We'll go 6 one more time, or will we go 7? I
Oh
believe we
yes.
have to go 6 and then chopper it up.
Yeah, seems good.
Love that art on Zoro, by the way.
hmm
Looks absolutely fantastic.
Beautiful. Look like yeah, it looks like you went at the Zoro there.
Yeah, so he's going to go 6 on 5. Show me another 2K
hmm
or block and a 1K.
hmm
Yeah, you certainly can't threaten this law with 1 Dawn active, so you might as well, if
Yep.
you have the 1K.
Yep. Yeah, that's the question. Which card do we want later in the game? Do we want to get rid of the Nami now,
So there we go.
or do
We'll
we
see
want to
the
just?
block
There we
plus the
go.
1K.
Get
We
rid of the
we
Nami.
already have a Nami on board, so we will
Mm-hmm.
potentially get more of
Yep.
her.
There's more shuffling to be done.
Correct.
More shambling to be
More
done.
shenanigans, I think is what you called it yesterday.
Yep. Love the law
So, yep,
shenanigans.
2 out 2. Can't afford to defend the Nami. It just
Right.
doesn't serve a purpose.
Yep. She did her job though.
Yeah, she killed the ball.
Mhm.
That's kind of cool.
Yep. Going 5 at Zoro.
Yep. You can just stay low to the
Mhm.
ground, force the entire hand, and then just
Yep.
outvalue. He still has the A drop in hand.
Yeah.
Oh boy, and a radical beam. It's looking very spooky for the
Mhm.
Monkey D. Luffy player.
Yeah.
So if we get 5 and 5 with the Zoro, I can see a 5 from leader.
5 lead. I think we would see the block there. Again, trying to force the law to attack so your opponent doesn't have a blocker. Maybe that's what his game plan is.
Sure, certainly, but if I think he has a Bonnie still in hand, if I'm still remembering correctly, so he can Bonnie look for another law and then shambles the Zoro, and then we're off to the races once again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you do get punished by that, so you're absolutely right. He will take this block here
Mhm.
and then try to argue that he wants to commit
Mm-hmm.
the law character card, but this could be mitigated pretty easily.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is something to be said about maybe potentially putting 1 Dawn on the law, swinging for 7 at 5, and then establishing the 8 drop Eustace Captain Kid.
Well, he just said 6. Sure.
Sure, 6 is enough.
Yep.
So with this, I do think we'll see the Captain
There
Kid
we
come
go.
down. So this in this way, which is a little bit greedier, we
Yeah.
do get to keep up the radical beam.
Yeah. So he's pretty well insulated. Single blocker, single radical beam, plus counter power in hand.
Yeah.
Pretty well insulated.
But there are a couple unblockable Luffys that are come down.
Mhm.
But it's
For
just
sure,
it's just
yeah.
that radical beam, man. That card is gonna do work. Wait, he didn't tap the kid?
Mm. There we go. Do you sack off this Nami for something?
I don't think so. I don't think you have to. You can just say activate effect, choose not to summon,
Mhm.
and pass turn.
Yep.
I think 1 Veggie and 1 radical beam in this board state
Mm-hmm.
is enough.
Probably. Yep. There you go. Sacking
And
off for that.
Nami's not. It's just not good enough. Apparently, we gotta
Yeah.
summon Nico Robin. It's
Yeah.
okay. Nico Robin
Yep.
threatens like a potential
The blocker.
the blockers. Like if he wants
The
to hide
chumps.
behind choppers or
Yeah.
Bartholomew.
Yep. It's just another 5K attacker for the following turn as well.
Correct. Just a more aggressive card, which I can
Yep.
understand. So we'll go ahead and see this Monkey D. Luffy come down. And here's the issue with this
Here's-
Luffy, right? How much Dawn are we attaching?
All of it. Yeah, that's 6, so it's 11. Which
The thing is, 11 is just not
that's
even a. It's just not enough.
one card. That's literally just
That's
radical.
just radical beam.
Again, such a powerful card. Oh, did I do math?
Is it
wrong?
12? Oh, because he gains an extra 1 because of the leader ability, so it goes to 12. Right? He's a 5, so he gains
Oh,
6.
yes. My apologies.
Yeah, so it's a 12K, and then we're just
Yeah.
we don't need the Bonnie here.
There you go.
And this most certainly has to be some form of lethal. I just want to see
My-
Dawn placement to
Yeah.
play around the
Yep.
potential jet pistol.
Yeah. My bad. My math wasn't mathing there. My bad.
No, it's all good. No worries, man.
Yeah. So
It
okay,
happens.
Yep.
So we'll see. I'm okay with seeing not a
Yep.
protection of
5.
the
and
Robins.
kill something. Sure. Okay.
I would have liked 2 Dawn on Zoro, though.
Yeah.
So we'll see 5 destroy the Nami or KO the Nami. We'll
Mhm.
see maybe another 5.
Yeah, the fact that you have like 7s and 9s here is just crazy.
Yeah, so then,
Swing
oh boy,
7.
here
Yeah,
comes the 7. He has to eat this one, and then that is certainly game, right? You'll go 7-5, everything
sure.
on Eustace.
Yeah, just the big guy goes in.
I would just
Yeah,
7-5 Eustace.
sure.
Yeah, but no matter how he does this, I think it's
There-
just is
yeah.
what it is.
There's no way, like, there's no math that he can mess up. He just
This
turn
is
things
also
side,
fine.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all
And
fine.
double
There you
2K
go. Wow,
and
okay.
the handshake
Law getting it
of
2-0
friendship.
and going into finals. That was an excellent game.
Fantastic game by both
Yeah.
players. Amazing, showcasing how powerful Law can be in
Excellent
handling the
showcase,
aggressive
yeah.
matchup.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's going to be exciting to see. It's looking like it's going to be Eustace Captain Kid versus Law
Versus
for the
Law?
finals, and I'm
Okay.
excited to see who's going to be
That's-
the champion.
What's funny is that is what we saw yesterday for the final Swiss was Law versus Kid, and it was actually Caven. So let's see if he can get his revenge and claim the championship here
Yeah,
at the Miami Treasure
let's
Cup.
see if he can take it versus whoever won in the
Whoever
other
won,
matchup. I'm
yeah.
not sure. It was either Duval or Jonathan Rodriguez, both playtesting partners. So one of
Yeah.
them is going to go ahead and meet Caven in the finals.
Excellent. Yeah. No, that was just a great showcase of both decks. I think the Luffy wasn't able to play his strategy. He kept playing the weenie game, and then at the end he was stuck with the big bombs. And I agree because like there's never really a spot where those bombs would have been phenomenal. You're basically like tapping out to play them, and then you just immediately get punished by swings to the face. So it was tough.
The Law player was just too fast.
Too-
It's what
it-
it,
it
it's
was-
what it
he
comes
was
down
too
to. His
fast,
his opener was Nami Chopper into Chopper
he-
Chopper
he
Veggie Bonnie.
just-
Like
He just
it
poofed
was
everything
too
onto the
much.
board like super quick.
And
yeah.
then he was able to find the character Law, and then just immediately on his third turn shambles into the Law, and the value train
Yes,
just
too
took
much. It was going-
it just left the station.
Yeah, absolutely.